Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of Generation Wrestling Podcast. As always, is yours truly, the 28-year-old piece of gold, the franchise, aka the showstopper, better known as the GOW's resident tribal chief. And with me, as always, I got my tag team partner, my brother, my family. He is the flyest in the room, Mr. 1, 2, 3. Pin that ass down, K Breezy, aka EC's resident Isaac Hayes. King 2 called in the building. What's happening, man?
Man, what's good? What's good? What's going on, man? Not much, man. Chilling. Uh, you know, caught up on Raw finally. Uh, didn't miss much. Was a couple of okay matches, questionable decisions, but a couple of okay matches. Other than that, man, let's get this popping. Let's get to talking this wrestling we do.
All right, man. Well, yeah, like you said, we're gonna talk that wrestling. So last night, of course, Monday Night Raw was on the Sci-Fi Network. Um Leo says so
Yeah.
apparently Dolph Ziggler is on NXT. Okay, all right. Well, I gotta check that out. Now I'm a little curious. I'll see they went through with it. We'll see where they go.
Mm.
But
See, Dolph Ziggler doesn't matter. Dolph Ziggler is that guy you use to build up anybody, so it's okay for him to go down there because if you want to, he can take a loss and it really wasn't hurting shit because it ain't like nobody's pushing Dolph Ziggler to be shit anyway.
yeah, you know what? You know what? That is painfully very true. Like Dolph Ziggler is one of those guys, man, where it's like it don't matter how many times he loses or who he loses to, he never loses credibility. But it
Nah.
is what it is. Which is rare, very rare. All right, but going back to Monday Night Raw, man. So we had the first hour commercial free, so which leads us to our first segment of the night. So, of course, this time we had what was it, the academic challenge, in which we had, RK Bro and Alpha Academy going at it, man. RK Bro ended up once again picking up the victory, solidifying themselves as the official number one contenders. Too cold, man. I think this segment went a little long, but I did enjoy it at parts. But now I'm kind of glad like this is over. It's like all right, it's ran its course. Riddle
It's
and
over. It's ran
Rand.
its course. You said that like it's really over.
Well, for the time being, but Riddle and Orton as a tag team, I think we kind of know where this is going, but do we see them with one more run in them, or is this going to be another loss and kind of start to set up that mania feud, that mania build that so many people are anticipating?
uh, it could do that, but uh, I don't know yet, man. Well, if they're gonna go with Brock versus Roman, I mean, it opens up a lot for everybody, but um, we gotta kind of see how that goes out for Elimination Chamber. I don't know, man. Considering the decision making they made at day one, then they made at Royal Rumble,
Yeah,
then they making we could see another title change.
I want to let me rephrase that. Let me make this a little more personal. Are you ready for RK Bro to split up, or do you think they still get? You think it's still some life left in it? Because I'm on the fence. It's like I want to see them break up, but I still think they can squeeze a little more out of it.
They can squeeze enough out of it to push it to WrestleMania.
So WrestleMania is a definite cutoff for you.
Yeah, because I doubt if we get it, but I I think Riddle should turn heel. I I think that would be the surprise. I think that would be the one thing that you kind of didn't see coming. Because
Right,
it's like with Orton, it's like all right, you kind of guess Orton, like you already assume that it's Orton, like because it's
right,
Orton.
right.
I mean, that's what he does. But I think the difference would be if you turn Riddle heel and and then you can build it off them possibly losing this title shot. All right, they lose this
Mm,
title shot, so then you set up the dysfunction between them two. Them Randy wanting to win and Riddle getting tired of being talked down to by Randy, or then then Riddle can start putting on wins, or you could do something with it, but you can start here.
right.
You plant the seeds here, and then what is it, February now? So what,
Yep.
March, then April? So yeah, man, you plant the seeds and you have this one-on-one match. I mean, you putting on a two-night WrestleMania anyway. Both shows
Yeah.
are going to be about 4 hours, so you need matches. So why not put them in a one-on-one match? That would be a match people would want to see, especially with everything that they've been doing. Like, do you want to see it break up? No, but I mean it's WWE. You know they don't keep tag teams like this together long anyway. So
Right.
if you was expecting that, that was your first mistake. But most definitely you should make it a 1-on-1 for later on. So I don't see them winning the tag team titles. Uh, I can see an opportunity for one of the other championships coming up and them being involved in it, and then that that'll further that along. But I don't know. We'll see. It's WWE. You never know what you never know what they feeling.
All right, man. So after this, we had the Street Profits come out, which sets up a tag team match. We got the Street Profits versus the Alpha Academy. Chad Gable ends up picking up the victory via roll up. To me, I felt like it was a good match, man. And I want to say this: I think Chad Gable. I know they doing this thing with Otis right now, and I know Otis was supposed to kind of get a singles push at one point in time or another. But I say this: Chad Gable. We've said this multiple times. Where I feel like Chad, man, his style reminds me of Kurt Angle in a way. He's kind of got like them quirks that them little quirks and a little awkwardness that Kurt Angle had too. But I really feel like he's really found his stride and his character. He came a long way from Shorty G. Bro, what are your honest opinion on Chad Gable? Do you think he can at least, at the very least, get one singles championship run?
Mm, a United States maybe or Intercontinental.
Okay. So
Um,
nowhere near the big one.
no, not right now.
Okay.
Um, something something drastic would have to come for his character to be pushed into the main title scene. Like I'm not saying it couldn't possibly come, but am I banking on it? Nah, I'm not banking on it. So if it happens, it'll be a cool surprise. But I don't see I don't see Gable getting higher than United States Intercontinental.
I respect it. I respect it. All right, man. So next up, we get a leader vignette, and then we get Bobby Lashley and MVP. They came out to the ring. Bobby Lashley received a hero's welcome as he came out in his hometown. Man, got a huge pop. MVP, man, he made a very bold statement. He said Lashley will enter and exit the chamber as champion, and Lashley promises to send Brock Lesnar to the hospital, bro. Okay, now look, this match. First of all, elimination chamber matches. It's already brutal. You add in the fact that you got Matt Riddle in there, I believe. Uh,
But you also have to reminder this is the new Elimination Chamber. They've upgraded it so it's not as harsh, but it still
yeah,
has some punishment, but it's not as bad as it used to be. So you
I
have to
will
take that
say,
in consideration.
I will say, for the performer's sake, I'm glad they did it. But as a wrestling fan, aesthetically, I hate the mat on the outside because that's what made the original Elimination Chamber so brutal. Because you had that chain link, that chain
You had
grate
that garnet,
on the
yeah, that
floor.
garnet fence, yeah, that garnet floor that down, and that you fall on it, you hear it rattle, and it's like,
You toe up from the flow up literally. But we
yeah,
still got to take into account, man. You got badass behemoths in this match, man. And overall,
yeah.
it's a pretty damn good. Like, if I had to watch an elimination chamber match, oh, this is one just off the strength of Lashley and Brock Lesnar alone. So with that being said, man, Tuco,
Mm.
realistically, looking at who's in this match. And then, of course, you got to add in the caveat of Brock Lesnar and WWE strongly wanting to do a champion versus champion, despite the fact that Lesnar just lost. Do we see Bobby Lashley retaining past Elimination Chamber? And I really would hate for them to hot potato it, but they're gonna have to make this match as big as possible with Brock and Roman. You know it.
You don't really need to make it big as. I don't know. All right, so I don't think Bobby's gonna lose. I'm gonna say he's gonna win. I'm gonna say Brock is gonna lose before he's gonna take the pinfall before it's the final two, or he'll take the final pinfall. But I don't think he'll win.
Right.
Um, and I think because he already won the Royal Rumble. Now again, I
Mm-hmm.
know they're hotlining champion versus champion. I damn man, I can I'd hate to see him lose it, but if they gave him the win just so they could split it, so you could do it later on. And now, so it's like, okay, he beat Brock. He beat Brock at Royal Rumble. Brock got the championship back at Elimination Chamber. So now, if they decide to do it a third time, maybe this one will feel a little bit better than these other two. Because the first one was an
Right.
interference with Roman, and then the second one, of course, is the Elimination Chamber with 5 other people, with 4 other people, if you considering just Brock and Bobby. So, yeah, I could see a third time going on, a little bit down the line, either for the championship or just, ahead 1-on-1 just between these two. So, now that I say that, man, I could see Brock winning.
Yeah.
I,
And
if
Lashley
he,
doesn't have. Well, I guess he will have to take the. Nah, God damn it.
but okay,
Yeah.
so for me, my thing here is if you're gonna put the title on Brock and you're gonna make the match for Mania, the main event match, which would be Brock versus Roman, title for title,
Mhm.
you gotta display all your championships. I mean, you got a 2 night
Yeah,
show. You got to put all the titles on the line. Like you
that's
gotta you
true.
gotta put every championship out there. So you gotta bring the Intercontinental, you gotta bring the women's, you gotta bring the women's tag team, you gotta bring United States. You're gonna bring the tag teams, so you gotta do them. But yeah, you gotta really put everything on the line. It's one thing when you got two separate champions and they're having their own matches, but you're putting both uh champions in the one match, and you're probably doing that because of the lack of depth that you have as far as
Yeah,
star power.
yeah.
So if we're going to go back to them sharing the shows of Raw and SmackDown together, where you
Mm.
get the same people on both shows, then okay, and then Brock wins, and they'll have the match at Mania, and then they'll unify that championship. They may unify the other two championships, or they may keep it. I don't know. They may keep them just to kind of because you still have quite a few people, and so you want to do something, you want to keep something for people to be interested in, but ah I don't know, man. It's hard to talk that far in the future with WWE.
Yeah, I know. When we get off the air, man, I gotta talk to you about something. But that'll be that. All right, man. So next,
uh,
we get a segment. We get Alexa Bliss. Yay, whatever. All
oh
right,
my
then
god,
we get a
I'm
match,
so
man. We
tired
get
of those.
Damian Priest. Right. We get a match. We get Damien Priest versus AJ Styles. And again, Damien Priest takes another loss. One, I'm not mad because it's AJ
Cleanly.
Styles, but two, exactly, it was a clean loss, like undisputed, undoubtable. Uh Okay, now I don't want to look too much into this because I mean I analyze shit, bro. But I mean I wouldn't be me if I didn't. You have Damian Priest who pretty much didn't take a clean loss period at all up until KO, or loss in general until KO for real. And then now you having to lose consistently. He got a major push after the whole thing with Bad Bunny last year and all that, and now he's starting to take losses. Kind of weirdly enough and cleanly. Do we see this as just part of WWE's booking and the way they do shit, or do you think, man, there may be a different plan, or maybe he has some heat on him?
I don't think he has heat. What I feel it is just the fact that he's been kind of winning. I think I could have swore he took a loss, but maybe it was in like a tag match or something like that. But he's been winning singles matches a lot, but it hasn't really done too much for him. Like it's just
Yeah,
like, yeah, people like him, but it's just, it's been lackluster. It ain't really been anything. So him taking losses to people that are a little, I mean, okay, he ain't taking random losses to nobodies. So I'm
right.
not down so much on that. I mean, he lost to Kevin Owens, he lost to AJ Styles, uh, he lost to somebody else. Was it Theory? I think it was it Theory? I don't think it was Theory.
Was it
It
was
was
it there?
somebody. I can't remember who else somebody he lost, but he's losing. But a couple of losses towards legit people, so
Yeah,
maybe it's a way to kind of push him further. Like, yeah, he's been good, but there's some competition that he's not gonna beat everybody. I mean, Priest is good, but he's not gonna beat everybody. So he's gonna take some
right.
losses, and the guys he's taking the losses to are people that you you could say, nah, I could see him beating him. I
Right,
could see
right, right.
Styles beating him. So it wasn't. So that wasn't disappointing. Well, it was, but it wasn't. It was a good match. It was a cool match. I liked it. It was okay. Um, so I'm looking at it as that the story is that you're pushing a change for Priest. Like he's finna really become something different. I mean, he was pulling at his hair,
Yeah,
standing in a corner. So it's
yeah.
like, all right, he's finna manifest into something else. Um,
My boy about to go nuts.
right, but I'm worried what that's gonna turn him into, and I, Styles, he's going to be an elimination chamber match. I guess you want to make him a
Yeah,
credible threat for somebody that's actually going to win it. When you think of the two people that he's in the match with, when it's Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. So, and of course,
right, right.
Seth Rollins, Matt Riddle, uh, what is it? Seth, AJ,
Theory.
Riddle, in theory.
Yep.
And out of that group, yeah, your biggest threats really are Brock and Bobby, but I guess it depends
Hmm.
on when they start or when they come in. If they start or if they come in late.
Yeah. All right, man. Next up, we got the segment. We get Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, and the relationship with these two, man, it really reminds me sort of like KO with the Festival of Friendship. I'm curious to see uh how they play this, how they turn this in. But anyway, man, so you get Kevin Owens. He talks about he getting his rematch, and then you got him foreshadowing him and Seth eventually fighting, and Seth Rollins, kind of ignores him. Then we get Miz TV, man. We get Dominic and Rey Mysterio. They come out to the ring. Miz, he kind of sending shots. He says, no, Dom a little bit taller than your daddy. Sure, Eddie ain't it. Got a big pop. Then, of course, after this, man, we get Dom versus Miz again. Dom ended up picking up the victory. Tuco, man, is this a push for Dom, or is this getting Dom ready for he and Ray, man, to have that eventual split that we believe that was going to happen a lot earlier than it has been now, or rumors to be.
Oh no. Well, this as far as the split, um, no, I think that was going to happen at WrestleMania anyway. They were gonna build that to Mania. Um, Father versus son because it's Ray dominant. That's what they're gonna build. The whole Dom beating Miz is okay for him as far as no one. I mean, the Miz is the Miz, but it's like it's the Miz. Okay, it's the
Right.
Miz. You don't really see much for him other than where he's at now. So for Dom to get that victory over him, I mean, like I said, man, you see Dom and improve. He's getting a little better each time. But yeah, obviously, there's plenty of time to it's really not too much motivation, and you don't really have to really turn nobody heel. You could just do it as a way of just
Yeah.
Dom feel like he's ready, and he wants to have a big moment, and he wants to fight his dad and at WrestleMania, and they can just have a
Right.
legit up match, and just Dom just wanted to prove that he's ready, and even if you want to play heelish moments in it for him, I guess you could do it, but I would do it
Right. Right.
subtly, not just full blown. But for the most part, yeah, yeah, you could do it that way. You don't have to turn anyone heel.
You know what's crazy? What if you kind of add in this match, like on Dominus end, him getting desperate, and you kind of add like little small Eddie tendencies. I don't know. I just think that'd be like a little full circle moment. But I mean, depends on how they do it, man. If they do it, whatever. But I mean, that was just something I was thinking about. And then of course after that, man, you get a segment. You get Austin Theory, and Vince McMahon in the back. You can't hear shit because the audio ain't really popping. And then you got Bianca Belair versus Nikki ASH. Belair ended up picking up the victory. After this, you get a 24/7 title segment with Reggie and Dana Brooke. Then after this match, after this segment, we get another match. You get Kevin Owens and Austin Theory. Owens ends up picking up the victory. It was a good match overall, but my thing is, I just don't understand. Kevin Owens, he wins this match. Theory's already in the chamber. Kevin Owens, he would then later talk to Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce, find out he's still not in the chamber at this moment. Now, my thing is, you just had Owens lose last week, then you have him win this week. The 50-50 booking, man, with WWE. Sometimes you get it, But in this case, it makes no sense. Like, why would you have him lose to Theory last week for the spot, have him get the rematch, and then nothing comes of it? Tuco, man, the match thought,
I mean, the match was cool. The match was cool. It's Theory and Owens.
yeah,
The match was cool. You don't want to have Owens lose too much. I mean, you still want to keep him in the competition, but
yeah,
he didn't win when it mattered the most. So it's just
right,
to keep him in whatever's going to happen after Elimination Chamber, because obviously, if Brock Lesnar doesn't win, then you got to find a number one contendership for Bobby Lashley or whoever supposedly wins the championship in Elimination Chamber. Uh,
right,
so yeah, and Kevin Owens could be a viable number one contender for afterwards. Uh,
mhm,
I also could see them doing the Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens again, because the last time they had a match at
right,
WrestleMania, there was no crowd. They put on a great match, but it was no crowd.
true,
So I could see them wanting to put that match on again, this time in front of a live crowd. So uh, I can also see that as being a match to add to the show. Because again, it's going to be
right.
2 nights. That's going to be about 4 hours. So a Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins, I could see that now, because now I'm really starting to take Seth out of the title picture. Now, if he wins, I can still see Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens. I could still see that happening at WrestleMania. But I don't know if I see Seth winning the championship. Like I said, unless something happens to where Bobby and Brock Lesnar both get eliminated before there's a winner, man,
Right.
it's a slim chance.
Tuco, before we get to the next thing that happened, man. So Leo says, by the way, I hate the 2 night WrestleManias. See, I feel a little different. I don't mind the 2 night WrestleManias, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I don't feel like sitting, dude. I'm sorry. WrestleMania is already long as shit. And then you got a 2 hour pre-show. I don't want to sit there for 9 hours in a row, bro. I'm sorry.
And that's the whole thing. You got to think about it. It's WrestleMania, so that means the pre-show's coming on at 6. They're gonna do
Yeah,
matches for about 2 hours. Then the main show is gonna come on. Probably, if it don't come on at 7, it's gonna come on at 8. So then
right.
you got to sit through about another 7 or 8 matches, and some of these matches, they're going to get rushed, or they might add. Hell, it's WrestleMania. Hell, it might make it 12 matches, but they're going to be trying to cram.
Right.
They're going to try to cram stuff, and matches are going to go long that shouldn't. Matches are going to get shortened that probably shouldn't, and we're going to be disappointed. Last year,
Yeah.
I think the one good thing that did come out of WrestleMania was the fact that you had your kind of they're just their matches, but then you had some really good matches, and everything seemed
Yeah.
to got a proper amount of time. Like nothing didn't really seem
True.
rushed because you didn't do everything on one night. I get what Leo's saying, but that's kind
Hmm.
of cool because it's like you're gonna get some of these matches that you really want to see, and then you'll get a couple of fillers, but that's just to fill out the time. And does it have to be 4 hours? Maybe the first night. I think you can I think the first night can be like an appetite, like an appetite, like an appetizer, like a little bit of a
Right. Right.
teaser. Like maybe you don't do 4 hours, maybe you just do like a 3 hour show, or a 2.5 hour show, and then which means you wouldn't have so many matches, but you would have more important matches, and you do that for a 4 hour show Sunday. Like but the only reason I would say do that because you're not doing both championship matches separately. You're doing one big
Yeah.
championship match if you do Brock versus Roman, and they're both title for title. But whatever. I three make one 3 hours, make the other 4 hours. Whatever. But trying to rush all that on one night, man, yeah, that's a lot, man.
A
I don't.
lot.
Yeah, it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Nobody want to be up that late watching a subpar uh WrestleMania. Like, let's be honest, it'll be subpar because it's only going to probably be out of the 12 to 15 matches they would give us. we will probably only really care about 7 of them, if that. And I'm being
If
nice with
that, and
that
he got
number.
and you got to think about it too. Like all these goddamn budget cuts, it's just like now you got
Like,
storylines really just kind of being thrown together. Because even if you start a storyline now, that's really not a lot of time for a Mania match. I mean, and then you got like these little pay-per-views like fucking Saudi Arabia that's coming up now after we just had the Royal Rumble, which we just had day one. So it's like, on the road to WrestleMania, it's all these little pit stops, man. You kind of breaking it up. I don't know. They're
yeah.
still talking about trying to bring back Lacey Evans and Rumor Bailey, and other people who we probably don't even think about right now. It's nuts, man. But Leo, I feel you.
It
Too Cold, I feel you.
it
What's up?
is
No,
nuts,
go ahead.
man. It is nuts because, like you say, you don't really have enough people, like not enough people to
Yeah,
for folks to care, to be really that invested. It's like I feel like people will turn into WrestleMania. They'll tune into it, and they may think it may be good, but all of us will know, man. Like, man, this is terrible. Like, these are a whole bunch of people we don't care about, and it's like there's nothing really at stake, and it kind of just becomes a bathroom break match. And
for
you know who would want to sit and watch 5 or 7 hours of that shit? Not me. So break
real.
it up, and just, yeah, break it up. I rather you break it up.
Too Cold, I'm about to ask you an uncomfortable truth as a wrestling fan. And
What's up,
we've
man?
had enough time to kind of sit on this and digest this. Last year's WrestleMania, was
Right,
it good or was it just the fact that we had people for the first time in over a year?
both. It was okay. It was good. I'm not saying it was great. I'm not saying it was one of the best WrestleManias of all time. I'm saying it was good, because you had some matches that they made seem important, and you had
Yeah.
fans back. So the fans being a part of it kind of made you more part, take into it a little bit more in certain
Hmm.
matches that you normally wouldn't. But
Right.
outside of that, it was good, overall as a weekend. If I had to grade one show better than the other, I would actually say I believe night one was better than night two. I think night two had the
Yeah.
better main event. Would not so to say that Sasha and Bianca's main event wasn't
Yeah.
great,
Yeah.
but just saying as far as, you know what the show had, like as far as the second show had the Fiend and Randy Orton. that
Right.
that
Yeah.
killed the
Damn, I
show.
forgot about
Like
that.
that really
Yeah.
killed the show. So
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
all they had was the triple threat match. Like that's all night two had. Like night one was like a better night, like just overall for matches and what we got to see. Because Cesaro and Seth Rollins, and it's so sad. We see Cesaro having WrestleMania moments with Seth Rollins and doing looking awesome, and now he's doing this.
Man.
But that was like part of what was great about night one. So night one was a better overall WrestleMania night. Night two only had the main event, which was the best thing for them on that night. So I it as long as they don't do that again, I, but now with the flex of talent, maybe you
Yeah.
could maybe you could do it one night again. Maybe just don't do it so damn long. Damn, now that I think about it like that, damn, Leo, damn. I mean, okay,
he said
when
he
we were
said
thinking,
now that you mention it.
I mean, when you had all the people you had, it was one thing. It was one way to think it that way because you knew you had a certain amount of talent you actually use, and you would
Right.
have something. But now, really thinking about it, maybe they should just make it one night. But they didn't already sold the tickets. They want the money from it.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's already been counted. So yeah, I could see. Yeah, maybe they should, because of the lack of talent. Maybe they should do one night.
Nah, Nick Khan says sorry about your damn luck. You gonna pay the tickets, motherfucker. Fuck that. All right,
Right.
man. So moving back on with Raw, man. So we get a Veer Mahan vignette. Apparently he's still coming. Pause. Then we get a segment, man. We get Becky Lynch and Lita. Okay. Okay, decent. Becky was talking that talk. Now I don't believe Lita's gonna win at all, but I do want to see this. I do. I wanted to see it before, but I kind of want to see
Hmm.
because I don't think we've seen Lita in a one-on-one. I don't remember the last time I seen Lita in a one-on-one match. I think the last couple years she's been coming back
You
has always
haven't.
been yeah. I was say she's been coming back like
La-
Rumble matches and shit.
The last time was that tag match her and Trish was in. That was the last time I remember seeing her in a match that wasn't a Royal Rumble match.
Okay. Yeah. See, bro, I don't even remember that one. but
I forgot what they did it for.
But yeah, okay. So Lita, Becky Lynch, really quick, man. Your thoughts on this one coming up, man. I mean, did this segment did it do anything for? I mean, we already know that Lita not gonna win, man. But do you care? I guess my question is to you: do you care to see her on her one last run?
I do, but I don't.
Mm,
Uh, I mean, Becky, Becky's good at talking shit, so that was cool.
right.
They really made Lita feel kind of WWE robotic, just in her delivery. Like
Yeah.
I think that's just what it is. It's just she just didn't make me feel like she didn't make me want to see it. It just it reeks of desperation because you don't have anybody to make a marquee
Right.
match. And especially since you have an opportunity for women to wrestle in Saudi Arabia, you want a marquee. And also, Lita is part of the old school. So again, you got Goldberg and you got Lita. So you got your retro wrestlers.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's part of the reason why I kind of don't care. Um, do I expect the match to be great? Not really. Not really at all. And I think that's kind of what just doesn't really get me hyped up as some may seem.
Right. Right. Yeah, no. I mean, you correct. My thing is, WWE. It's like whenever they get desperate, it's like, all right, let's go back to the time machine, which only worked for so long because knock on wood here, bruh. When these people pass on, or they get to the point to where they can't do this shit no more, I would hate to see like, what you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? Like, think about this, bruh. At their current weight, there's gonna come a time where they're gonna have to go back and grab Dolph Ziggler or the Miz
Yeah.
because they ain't got nobody on the roster.
The Miz more so because I'm sure he'll be doing a whole bunch of shit by then. But
Yeah,
Dolph Ziggler, he'll be one of those guys. He'll be done because
yeah.
him coming back won't mean nothing. Oh, Dolph Ziggler's come back to put somebody over. That's it. Ain't go. It ain't. That's it. Oh, Dolph's just coming back to do what he's been doing. I don't think there'll be much excitement there. The Miz, yes and
yeah,
no, depends on how long he stays away from wrestling. If people actually miss him,
yeah.
but if he's somebody that shows up every 6 months, then it ain't gonna matter. It won't mean nothing.
My boy said P.O. Joe and Dog do the Dolph do the job Ziggler,
Hey
huh?
man, that's pretty much what it'll be.
Oh man. All right, man. Look, we about to wrap this thing on up, man. So we get Liv Morgan and Dewdrop. Good match. Dewdrop ended up picking up the victory. Then you had a main event. You had Rollins and Riddle. It was supposed to be a one-on-one. Kevin Owens ended up disqualifying Seth Rollins. This thing turned into a tag
Tag
team match,
team
which
match.
ended up with Rollins still curb stomping Riddle and winning anyway, which you could have just did that in the regular match. Too cold. I didn't really give two damns about this match at all, especially when they turned it
It
into
was
a
a
tag
good
team.
match. I mean, it was a good
I
match
mean,
for the
it
four
was a
people that
good
was
match,
in
but
it.
I guess my thing, I guess where I kind of soured on it was I was promised Rollins versus Riddle. I didn't care for it to be a tag match. I wanted Rollins versus Riddle. It's like WWE. They once again they do this shit. They give you what you want, but then they give you what they want. Like you got Rollins
Of
and Riddle,
course.
but the finish was stupid. It just set up for the finish that they did just in a tag match, was to me was uh, thoughts, man.
Yeah.
Thoughts before we get off.
I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah, I'd rather have gotten Rollins. I mean, we've seen Rollins versus Riddle, and Riddle lost already. But they have this thing of And I think that's kind of the some of the part of the disappointment, man, is that they have this thing of Riddle taking a lot of losses anyway. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it would have mattered if he'd have lost in a singles match or not, because he still took the pin in the tag team match. But
Right.
like for me, that's the thing. Like it's like, man, it didn't matter. He didn't have to lose. But you gave him the you gave him the DQ win, but then you had him take the pin
Mhm.
loss in a tag match. You could have
Yeah.
just gave him the tag. You just could have gave him the loss in the tag match. I mean, you had him fighting outside of his tag team rivalry anyway, so I mean, whatever. It was just a random. It was
Right.
just a regular match. But again, yeah, man, you could have just stuck with the first match. They could have put on a nice main event. That would have been cool. Now, if it was just Kevin Owens and Randy just coming down to, trying to make sure the other one didn't interfere in the other one's match, then that I think I
Right.
would have preferred that more, and then it could just end it on the 1-on-1. But it's WWE, man. What do you expect?
It is. It is. But Tuco, my brother, we
What's up,
have
man?
wrapped up our Monday Night Raw review.
Oh yeah,
Tomorrow we supposedly we got NXT, but we know for damn sure we're doing AEW.
oh yeah.
Dynamite, big surprise, man, big surprise. It's been said that Keith Lee has signed, but I guess we got to wait and see tomorrow exactly how true that is. But yeah, man, I'm getting ready.
It's
I
gonna
know
be
you
Road
getting ready,
Dogg.
bruh. You know what's crazy? If Road Dogg, I don't know this ain't gonna happen, but if Road Dogg and not Triple H, if Road Dogg is Shaming Man, which ain't gonna happen. But if I see
Nah,
Road
Road
Dogg,
Dogg gonna
bro,
team up to help the Gun Club.
I hate you. You know what, man? All right. This new age outlaw motherfucker right here, man. Why would you say some shit like that? Now H Pac gonna be coming out and he gonna be six all over again and shit. Oh
Hey, nah, he gonna be 7. He gonna be 7. He can't be 6.
Cause 7, 8, 9.
Right. Oh, he gonna be 7
Oh,
minus
why,
1.
bruh.
I
I'm
don't
mad.
know.
I'm mad. I'm mad you said that. I don't see it happening tomorrow, but I'm pissed because I can see Road Dogg coming back with. Oh god damn.
Oh man,
You,
nah,
bro,
but
you ain't shit, man. You ain't shit. I was happy until now. Oh
oh
man,
shit, my Wi-Fi, my bad, man. My Wi-Fi go. Did my
man, don't
Wi-Fi just go out?
apologize,
My
man. That's
Wi-Fi was.
oh. That's AT&T saying, "Hey, fuck this Monday Night Raw highlight review, real thingy." So I
AT&T.
don't know. Oh, there you go. There you go. I didn't think he was coming back,
Yeah,
bro.
there you
I
go.
thought you was with us no longer. So I'm gonna
Oh
hurry up.
no,
I'm
no,
gonna hurry up.
it was playing with me, but no, I'm back on. I'm back on. But nah, man, my bad, man. I had to fuck with you before we got out of here, though. But
No. I mean,
yeah,
I
Keith Lee
appreciate it,
apparently
man. That was a
signed.
hard one.
We'll see what that turns out to be, man.
Well, with that being said, man, until tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of the GOW, the Generation of Wrestling Podcast. As always, yours truly, the 28-year-old piece of gold. He's too cold. And until tomorrow, we will see you when we see you. Peace.